Rule 60b(3) of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure offers a significant recourse for parties seeking relief from a final judgment or order due to an opponent's fraud, misrepresentation, or misconduct. This provision recognizes the fundamental principle that the justice system's decisions must be based upon truth and fairness. It ensures that decisions tainted by deceit do not stand, undermining the integrity of judicial proceedings. Fraud, in the context of Rule 60b(3), encompasses both intrinsic fraud, which relates to issues within the trial itself, such as falsified evidence or perjury, and extrinsic fraud, involving deceit that prevents a party from fully participating in the trial. Misrepresentation refers to false statements of fact made by an opposing party that the deceived party reasonably relied on to their detriment. Misconduct can include actions like improper jury influence or withholding crucial evidence. The individual or entity seeking relief under this rule carries the burden to prove, by clear and convincing evidence, that the adverse party engaged in fraud, misrepresentation, or misconduct. This high evidentiary standard underscores the severity of altering a finalized judgment and emphasizes the need for demonstrating the decisive influence of the wrongful acts on the outcome. However, not every instance of dishonesty or procedural misstep amounts to grounds for relief under Rule 60b(3). The misconduct must have substantially affected the trial's outcome, meaning that had the fraud or misrepresentation not occurred, a different judgment might have been issued. It's not enough to show that the conduct was merely unfair. It must be shown to have prevented the fair adjudication of the proceedings. Timing is a crucial element when invoking Rule 60b(3). A motion under this rule must be made within a reasonable time, but specifically no more than a year after the judgment, order, or proceeding was entered or taken. This timeframe highlights the judiciary's interest in finality and the balancing act between correcting injustices and maintaining stable and conclusive judgments. Pursuing relief under Rule 60b(3) demands a tactical evaluation of the new evidence or information that substantiates the claims of fraud, misrepresentation, or misconduct. Legal practitioners must carefully consider whether the evidence meets the substantial threshold required by the rule, and whether there exists a causal connection between the alleged wrongful behavior and the judgment rendered. In application, courts scrutinize motions under Rule 60b(3) with a discerning eye, recognizing the necessity of these provisions for justice while cautiously guarding against their misuse as tools for endless litigation. Successful motions often involve clear instances where the integrity of the judicial process is at stake, and remedial action is necessary to uphold the principles of fairness and equity. Importantly, parties and counsel must remain vigilant during proceedings to detect and respond to potential fraud, misrepresentation, or misconduct. While Rule 60b(3) serves as a corrective measure, the primary responsibility to ensure the honesty and propriety of judicial processes lies with the individuals involved. Acting ethically and diligently safeguarding the sanctity of the courtroom stand as the best defenses against actions that could ultimately jeopardize the finality and integrity of judgments. Rule 60b(3) plays a pivotal role in ensuring justice, offering a path to rectify judgments tainted by fraud, misrepresentation, or misconduct. While the rule serves as a vital safeguard, the onus is on the moving party to convincingly demonstrate the adverse impact of such actions on the trial's outcome. With its stringent standards and procedural timelines, Rule 60b(3) strikes a balance between the ideals of finality and fairness in civil litigation. Thanks for joining us today. Remember, what you learned today is for informational purposes and should not be considered as legal advice. If you found our content helpful, consider subscribing to our channel for more legal explainers like this one.